Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Morgan and I'm very glad that you're here. So today I'm going to do a video that's a little bit different. I was tagged by Ellie from Ellie's Corner, the people behind the hands of the videos that you watch every week. So I am very excited to participate. So basically we are given a list of questions and just go through and answer them. And what I thought I would do is this is my little journal, and I need to prep my pages for September. Sometimes I will do watercolor on the pages, sometimes I'll just do washi, sometimes I'll just do stickers. But I thought I would go ahead and do that while I am answering these questions. So let's go ahead and get everything ready here. Okay, so these are the watercolors that I use, not that this is really important or the purpose of this video, but I use the Arteza ones. This is the 36 pack colors. All right, get situated here. Okay. So the first question is for me to tell you about myself. So I guess I'll just kind of start with the basics, right? I am a stay-at-home mom, and we also homeschool, which is fun. And I have been married to my husband for be 22 years next month. And yeah, we have two kids. I have a daughter that is 15 and a son who is 11, almost 12. He actually was born on our 10th wedding anniversary. So that's kind of fun and special. Let's see, what do I like to do? Hobbies, well, obviously my planner, right? I'm actually gonna switch stuff around here. Give me 1 second. It's kind of awkward here. There we go. My coffee over there. Okay, so yes, I love to play in my planner, as I'm sure many of you do as well. Some other hobbies, things I like to do. I like to read. I wish that I could do it more. Yeah, it's hard for me sometimes to sit down and shut my brain off enough to actually read something. I do like the times when I can actually, take a minute and just, read a book or whatever. Right now I'm reading the Outlander series and I'm on book 3, so I haven't gotten too far yet. But I am caught up on the television series, so there's that. And yeah, so I like to read. I like to garden, and I love to grow herbs, and I'm actually taking a course to become an herbalist, so that's been fun. Kind of learning about the herbs and their medicinal benefits and things like that has been really interesting. So I'm enjoying that. I'm about halfway through with that process, so it does kind of take some time. If you've ever done any classes online, you will know what I mean. So but yeah, that's been really fun to kind of learn about that stuff, and it's something that I've kind of always been interested in, but deciding to take classes for it was something that I decided a few years ago, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, so I love all things stationery, anything planner related. And I've actually been a planner since high school. Yeah, it's, you remember when you were in high school and they would give you those those little paper spiral bound planners or whatever. And we didn't have those in high school, but I know they give some of those out now. I guess is what I'm saying. That's basically like what I would use. And I would use just one that I would get from Walmart or whatever. And so that was kind of how I started my planner life, for lack of a better word. So yeah, that's basically what I got started with. So, okay, now question number 2 is, how did you come across the online planner community? So it was online, yeah, so basically I was looking for a homeschool planner to use for our homeschool stuff. And I think I just searched homeschool planners on Google, and Erin Condren came up. And so then I got to looking at their teacher planner. I didn't end up getting it, which is kind of the funny part. So I didn't end up getting that, but I did find, I think that's when I found Instagram, found Erin Condren's Instagram. Then a Facebook group for like Erin Condren fans or whatever came up, and so I joined that. And then I think it was just kind of a snowball effect of everything kind of like Facebook would start suggesting groups, and so then I was like, oh, well, I would hear about a shop like Villa Beautiful. That was one of the first ones that I'd ever heard of. And so then I would go and find their Instagram and follow that way. So it was, yeah, kind of just that progression where I went down the rabbit hole quick and fast. So, but it was really good. And I'm really grateful that I found the planner community, because it's been really helpful to see all of the different, planner options and everything. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, as we all know, but because there are so many options and everyone uses something different. And but it's been really great to be able to have that resource, I guess, to just kind of be able to try new things and see what all's out there, and then kind of decide what's worked for me. And I have been through all the sizes of planners. I've tried TNs, I've tried rings, I've tried the bound books, and I've tried Erin Condren spiral. And yeah, this I pretty much have found that I love bound books. Hobonichi and Stalogy are my two that I use currently. So all right, so number 3, which that kind of leads into that question, what is your current everyday carry? And that is my A5 Stalogy. I just recently switched from the A5 cut from the Hobonichi Cousin, and it's been really fun. This is my first week of being in the Stalogy, and I was really nervous about making that change, and I wasn't sure whether people would be upset or whatever, but I don't know. I've just seen some people when they switch planners, and sometimes the backlash that they get from their followers or whatever on Instagram. So I was just nervous about being in a different book, because I've been in the Cousin for so long, actually for a full year, because I switched in, June or July of 2019. I switched to the Hobonichi Cousin Avec, and then decided at the end of the year that I wanted it to be all in one book. So then I switched to the full-size Cousin, and yeah, it's worked really great for me all year. So making the switch was a little bit daunting, but I'm really glad I did. I'm enjoying the freedom that I have in Stalogy. So it's been really good. So I'm very glad that I decided to switch. Okay, so number 4, what is your favorite type of pen? Ballpoint, roller ball, gel, fountain pen, felt pen, or fine liner? I would have to say that it's a toss-up for me between a gel pen and a ballpoint pen. And I'll show you guys actually my go-to pens. Okay, so these are my go-tos. I love Micron. 03 is one that I typically will choose to write with if I'm using the Micron. Then I have my Villa Beautiful pens, which I love, and they're like a 0.5 gel tip. So those are really great. I love the Energel Klena pens from Pentel. These are really great. I got the 0.5 of this one as well. And then for ballpoint, I love the Pentel RSVP pens in the fine point. And then I also love, I got a Giulio on the Buy Sell Trade group. And I don't have that one. I think it's actually in the other room. But they all come with a pen. And so I love that one as well. And it is a ballpoint too. So these are my go-to pens. So for me, it's a toss-up between gel and ballpoint. So. Okay, so number 5. Yeah, that kind of goes in with number 5, I guess, is what's your most used pen? So the ones I just showed. And then what are your favorite planner accessories? So I actually just did a video about this, and I will put a link to it in the cards in case you're interested in watching it. It was so much fun to make. Let me grab a little sip of coffee here. Okay, so yes, Washi was one of the top of my favorite planner accessories and stickers. I love, like, honestly, you guys, I don't think that there's a planner accessory that I don't love. To be honest with you, I love all of it. But I think my favorite ones would have to be stickers, washi, and I just recently got some stamps from someone in the Coffee Monsters Co. group. Helen did a pre-order, and she had washi and some stamps. And so I ordered the washi because I knew that I wanted that, and I wanted to kind of stick to my budget. And then some sweet person in the group actually paid for the stamps in my order and had them sent to me. And I thought that was so sweet. I was just totally blown away by that. And I was so happy too, because I really did want the stamps, but I needed to stick to my budget. So I just had to kind of prioritize the washi. So the fact that someone did that was just super sweet. So I've kind of I've used stamps before, but never really did a lot. So it'll be fun the Coffee Monsters Co. stamps actually came with 3 little individual stamp sets. So it'll be really fun to be able to use those. So, okay, on to number 7. So number 7, I got my little list of questions here. Sorry. What have been your biggest challenges when it comes to planning? Honestly, I think my biggest challenges that I've found so far are just all of the options, because it's so overwhelming. There's so much, and I think it's one of those things that, when you see something else, like you're using, XYZ planner, and then you see something else, you see something that one of your friends is using, or you know, something like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I really like that. Like, I think that might actually work better for me, which is totally fine, right? Because honestly, it's all about finding what works for you. And so it's not really that so much. It's just that when you do find what works and you're still tempted by things that you see other people share, it's just kind of like, oh crap, you know, I'm good. I'm fine. I have my system. I know what works, and I'm gonna stick to it. And it's always funny because there's times, you guys, when I have to like shut off settings in a group or that I'm in on Facebook, or turn off notifications for turn off notifications in a Facebook group, or like mute an Instagram page or whatever, just because I get so caught up in that. I'm like, ooh, I think that would work for me. I really like that. And then, which, you know, it's fine. I mean, if you want to try something, right? Like, it's not that big a deal. But if I know that, like, I don't have a budget right now to spend, I don't have, you know, money to be putting towards that, then I think it's a little bit different. So, like, for me, if I know that I don't have the money to spend, that I need to, you know, just stay focused on what I'm using now, what works for me, I will mute and turn off notifications and different things like that, just so that I'm not tempted. So I think that's probably the one thing that I've struggled with the most, is just being tempted by what other people use, and kind of losing my focus about what works for me, because I know that the system I'm currently using works for me. So if I switch, it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't work, but you know, it's just kind of one of those things. So I have tried, like this past summer, in May, I actually went to a TN because it was super fun to set up. And I had so much fun setting up that little pocket TN, or no, A6 TN. Let me grab it. I had so much fun setting this up, and it was totally like frou-frou. I mean, I used it for a month for weekly planning, monthly, and everything, you know, like that. But I knew by the end of the month, I pretty much knew halfway through the month, that I needed more space than I could get from the A6. So I was ready to switch back to my A5, but it was fine. It was really fun to kind of take a little detour with my planners and switch it up a little bit. So it was totally fine. I don't regret it at all. And like I said, I've kept it, you know, set up because I'll probably use it again. So, especially kind of in the summertime when you don't really have a lot going on. And that was kind of how it was in May, you know, because like everything came to a screeching halt. So not much going on, except, hey, got up today, drank my coffee, did my planner check-in, and nothing's going on still. So let's just do some laundry and some chores. And that was my summer. So, and I know a lot of people are in the same boat, so it is what it is, right? So yeah, that's probably my biggest challenge with planning, is being tempted. So, okay, number 8. What do you do if you're in a planner funk? So I love this question because for me, it doesn't happen a lot. Just because I view my planner as kind of my hobby, and not my, that kind of sounded weird, not my actual planner, right? My planner helps me keep organized, and we also, you know, like I said before, we homeschool, and so I need to be organized. We homeschool, and then the kids also go to the local school, and they take some classes through the local school. And so I have to have my planner to keep me organized. So it's not that it's just a hobby. But the decorating and like this kind of stuff to me is a hobby. It's just kind of a way to express myself creatively, use some fun stickers and washi, and just kind of have fun. So for me, it's a hobby, and it brings me joy. So I don't get in planner funks very often. Now I will have a time where, like, this is my journal. Nothing, you know, super personal, but mainly it's like just documenting our days and things that we do throughout the day. Well, when everything kind of came to a screeching halt this summer, I was journaling, but like the whole month of July, I had it all decorated with the watercolors, and June too. I kind of went back in and filled in just some random things, but I pretty much didn't do anything for like 3 months in here. Just, it's real sporadic. So that would be like my planner funk, right? So just when I don't really feel like journaling. And normally what I will do when that happens, when I get into a funk where I don't feel like being creative or whatever, I will actually go, one of my most favorite people, actually I have two, most favorite people to watch, Emmylou Arts, because her journaling is amazing and it always gets me inspired. And so when I'm like, oh, you know, I just don't want to do this. And you know what? It's totally okay to not, it's okay that there are like multiple pages in this planner, in this journal that are not filled out. It's, you know what? I don't even worry about it. I went back in and like I said, I filled in some random events and things that we had, but for the most part, the pages are blank for 3 months. And I'm not even going to worry about it because I wasn't feeling it, and it's okay. So I had to kind of come to that realization on my own, and realizing that it's okay, you know, and so I try not to stress myself out when I get into a place like that, but I will go watch Emmylou Arts if I need a little bit of motivation to even just decorate it. Because even just going in, and this summer I actually, and this is what I did, right? I went in and I did watercolor on all the pages, and I put some washi down and stuff with the hopes that it would help me to get back into it, but it didn't, and it's okay. So if you're feeling that way, don't feel like you have to have a journal that has something in it every single day, because that's not life. So when you get into that planner funk, just try to remember that. Try to remember that it doesn't have to be every day. And you know what? If your actual planner sits for however many days and you haven't picked it up, it is not that big a deal. But if you want to try to help yourself get out of that funk, then I would suggest YouTube. And so yes, my two favorites are Emmylou Arts and Ellie's Corner. So if you go to their YouTube pages and check them out, they are both super sweet gals. And that's what I will do when I kind of just need that push to get back into my journaling. And even if it's just writing down a highlight from that day. And you know what? There's going to be some days that are blank. Don't beat yourself up about it. So when you get into a planner funk, go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook is also a good one. Join some new groups. I found that is very helpful. and kind of look for inspiration that way. And you'll eventually come out of it, and it's totally fine. Try not to beat yourself up. But when I get into planner funk, that's what I do. I will go to Emmylou Arts, Ellie's Corner, watch some videos of theirs. Then I will also go to Instagram, and I will follow new hashtags and kind of scroll through until I find something that inspires me, and then I will pick it back up again. But yeah, I think it's definitely important to not stress yourself out about it, because it's just not worth it. So it's a hobby. It's something that helps us organize our lives. But honestly, if you're having a time where you are just struggling to do it, just don't do it. Just put it away and come back to it another day. So I think that's probably my best advice if you're struggling with being in that planner funk. So, okay, what number are we on here? Oh, what do your loved ones think of your hobby? So, my husband's totally supportive. He knows that it helps me to organize our lives, especially since we started homeschooling. And so he's totally supportive. And he's so funny. He's like, there's times where I'll buy something and then I'll have like, oh man, I probably shouldn't have spent that. We could have put that $30 or whatever into a savings account. And he's like, you know what? You don't ever spend money on yourself. So just do it. Don't feel bad about it. It's fine. And we set aside money every month for, kind of a planner budget or whatever. So that's kind of good. Kind of allows me to have that freedom, but I still do feel guilty about it. My daughter, she is very supportive as well. She's also a planner. She uses a Bujo, so she's a bullet journaler. So my stickers and washi and all the deco and all the things drives her crazy, because she's very minimalistic and she does not use a lot of stickers at all. So it's kind of funny, but we both can appreciate each other's differences and have fun kind of bonding over the hobby that we both share. So that's really fun. And then my son, he's 11, and he's like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. He doesn't really have an opinion. So, but as far as like my extended family, like, my mom knows that I have a planner, but she doesn't know like the extent of it. Neither does the rest of my family. So, yeah. So I would say for the most part, my family is supportive. Okay, now number 10. If you've taken any personality tests, what are your results? So, for my Enneagram, I'm a type 7, and then it's a close tie for 8 and 3. So I don't really know what that means exactly. Like, I don't know if I messed up when I took the test or what. But anyway, it's the majority. What came out was number 7 was a type 7. So, and I'm sorry if you hear my dogs snoring, and like they're laying beside me in their kennel, and they're very noisy when they sleep, especially the male. So I'm sorry if you can hear him like breathing and snorting and snoring. And okay, so yeah, the type 7 is my Enneagram. That was the top one. And then on the Myers-Briggs, I took that one, and I am an ENFP T. So extrovert, intuitive, feeling, prospecting, turbulent. And when I read the little description thing that it gave me after I took the test, I was like, well, that's pretty accurate. It's kind of creepy how it was like dead on for a lot of things that it said. So that was really fun. I love to take those kind of tests and personality things and stuff. Just because I think it's kind of an interesting perspective. Not that it's always necessarily going to be correct and, stuff, but it is fun to take those and just kind of learn a little bit more about yourself and your personality. So, okay, now we are on number 11. At the time that these questions were written, many of us are practicing social distancing. In light of that, what shows or movies would you recommend? Okay, guys, I have a huge list of movies and shows. So I will just kind of go down the list. I had to make a list because there's so many, and I knew I would forget some. So, Handmaid's Tale. Love it. Creepy, amazing, really weird, but amazing. Big Little Lies. Oh my word. I was like, what? When I first started watching that, and I was like, okay, I was hooked instantly. Definitely check that one out if you haven't already. And I think it does require like a HBO subscription or whatever. But yeah, it's a good one. The Americans. That one is available on Amazon Prime, and I think, excuse me, I think you can get it on. Oh, I don't know if you can get it on Hulu. I haven't checked that. I just wondered if Hulu offered it because it's on like the FX channel, but definitely check that one out too. Jack Ryan is a good one. That one's also available on Amazon Prime, and that's I think there was 2 seasons of that. So then we have Outlander, of course, because you know I'm obsessed with Outlander. The Crown, also totally obsessed with that. I love The Crown. And their new season's going to be coming out here in a couple months, so I'm really excited about that. And they've kind of had, with the last season, they had some character changes, so that was a little bit weird, but I think I'm getting used to it. So, and then The Blacklist. That one was on NBC. And now I am able to watch it on Amazon Prime, or not Amazon Prime, Netflix. So, Hannah, that is an Amazon original, and it took me a little bit to get into that, but it's just a little bit strange. It feels like it's kind of repetitive, but I mean, I watched all the seasons. I think there was 2 seasons, so I ended up watching them all because I kept thinking, okay, what's gonna happen? So I ended up watching them all. I don't think I'll watch it again. I mean, if they come out with a new season, I'll probably watch it, but it is a good one. It's interesting. It's an interesting plot line. Just a little bit kind of slow building up, but it was good. Okay, so then some movies that I love. Pretty in Pink, Some Kind of Wonderful, Father of the Bride, You've Got Mail, classic. All of the Toy Story movies, Inside Out, and Moana. So those are my lists of shows and movies to binge watch whenever you need something to, kind of occupy your time. So, and we've all had plenty of time on our hands lately, although things are kind of starting to get started back up again, so that's been good. But anyway, so, okay, so that is my list of shows and movies. All right, so now this is called the lightning round, and where we'll just kind of go through and answer either or. So, functional versus fancy. Fancy, I think we know that by now, right? I mean, I like my fancy to be functional though. So yeah, if it's not functional, I'm not going to use it because but it's got to be fancy. Glue stick versus tape runner. I would say glue stick if I had to pick out of the 2. Cover versus no cover. I'm cover. Got to have a cover. Even with just this little journal here, I just have this clear cover on it. But I used it for a while without anything, so. But my main planner, I always have to have a cover because I just kind of feel like it's like shoes or earrings, you know, a little accessory. Stamps versus watercolor. This one I had a hard time choosing because I use watercolors and I just started using stamps. So I love them both. So I don't know really how to pick. Probably watercolor if I had to pick. Stickers versus washi, definitely stickers. So, okay guys, that is it for my Who's Behind the Hands video. I hope that you enjoyed this. It was really kind of fun to do this and do my watercolor. I almost got through the whole month of September. I've got a few more pages to do yet, but yeah, so this was fun. I'm glad I did this, and I will be tagging some people to participate in this challenge. So I think that's super fun. It is kind of an interesting way to get to know other planners. So, all right guys, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Bye.